We're here at the Suncor head office in Calgary to tell the people of Alberta, to tell the world a message, and we're also here to give Suncor a petition. Before we go any further, what we're going to do is start this gathering off in a good way by having Gus, who I've had a chance to meet a couple of times, and so I'm going to ask Gus if you can open us up with a prayer and some. First off, I'm Cardinal. I'm a coordinator with Keepers of the Athabasca. I am from the Kikino Métis settlement in northeastern Alberta. And I am here first and foremost to be a voice for the water and all the living things that depend on the water in the Athabasca watershed, which drains into the Mackenzie watershed, which drains into the Arctic Ocean. And so I want to say that Suncor has a long and rich history of being one of the first companies to set up shop and business in Fort McMurray. They have a long, rich history of trying to work with First Nation and Métis to provide business opportunities, to provide employment opportunities. But then we have a company, on the other hand, that is quietly lobbying the government to be exempt. So not only meet the minimum regulations of what the government is proposing for water protection, they are asking to be exempt altogether. So that really contradicts what Suncor is trying to do. By them lobbying to be exempt from the water regulations, they are directly impacting treaty rights, which we all know treaty rights is equivalent to environmental protection. And so part of it is us being here today. We're asking Suncor, this is an opportunity for Suncor to really work up to what they've been trying to do in being a leader and participate in these regulations that the government is trying to set forth. So the government is under the land use framework. We have the Lower Athabasca region. The Lower Athabasca land use plan that was put in place to have some environmental protection along with economic protection, and that's not happening. So basically, I guess the main message is that Suncor, we're here to tell you that we want you to own up to what you're saying about being a leader and working with First Nation and Métis, and participate in these. And just one of the last messages I have, because I think about the flooding that happened here in Calgary, and I had to really ask myself, why am I coming here? Like, why am I driving all the way from northern Alberta to stand on these steps? Like, why am I coming here? And I had to pray about it. And that's when I got that message that, you know, the water sent me here. And when that flooding happened, that was the water speaking. Because water speaks, water talks. So instead of the water coming this time, the water sent me here to speak for the water, for the Athabasca watershed, because the two frameworks, the water quantity, the surface water quantity framework, what they're doing is each company takes water from the Athabasca, and the Alberta government is trying, you know, to have some regulations in place to protect the Athabasca and the people downstream. So they're saying, listen, company, every company can only take so much water, especially in fall. What are we in right now? Like right now, the Athabasca River is extremely low. So they're saying you can only take so much water. Suncor and Syncrude are saying we're not following any of those rules. We want to be exempt altogether. We want to continue taking large amounts of water, which in turn is going to threaten the watershed in so many ways, and the people and the communities living downstream. That's one framework. The the other framework is the tailings ponds framework, which Suncor is also trying to be exempt from. And the tailings ponds framework is really a weak regulation to try and address the tailings ponds, which it doesn't. But it's a minimum regulation, and even then, Suncor is trying to be exempt from it. So I just wanted to say that, you know, we are here for the communities downstream. You know, it may not seem like much, but it is. And so with that, we want to thank you all for coming, and thank you, Chantal, for always being a support to the Calgary events, and to some of us for helping organize, to the Elder Gus, and to Mike Byerly and everybody else. So with that, we'll have a closing song.